Maybe this time through you could play some of the right notes. Just a thought.
I just don't do that to you.
Oh, well. Well, hello.
Oh.
Well, good evening. I don't know if you walked into the middle of me insulting my wonderful pianist, Alex, but that's how we say I love you. I was asking him, could you play a few of the right notes? Good evening, everybody, and welcome. We are sharing a grouping of songs that we hope you will survive, and we hope that we will survive. And we're going to start off with this wonderful little tune called I'm Old-Fashioned. I'm old-fashioned. I love the moonlight. I love the old-fashioned ways. The sound of rain upon my window pane. The starry songs that April sings. This year's fancies are passing fancies, but sighing sighs, holding hands. These my heart understands. I'm old-fashioned, but I don't mind it. That's how I long to be, as long as you'll agree to stay old-fashioned with me. What a nice little van. I am not such a clever one about the latest fads. I'll admit I was never one adored by local lads. Not that I ever tried to be a saint. God knows. I'm the type that they classify as quaint. Well, you know we're old-fashioned, and it's nice to be old-fashioned with you again this evening, and to be here with friend Alex, who has recently relocated to Richmond, Virginia. So this is some long-distance rehearsing we have done, and we're delighted to be back at Emerson Avenue Salons with our hosts Jackie and Bill, and to be together with you. We hope you'll enjoy it, this little hour we have together. These fancies are passing fancies, but sighing sighs, holding hands, these my heart understands. I'm old-fashioned, but I don't mind it. That's how I long to be, as long as you'll agree to stay old-fashioned with me. Thank you very much. Ah, yes. Our audience of one happy seal just flapping his fins. Thank you, Mr. Bill. So this is an evening that we put together in a hurry. And so, and we're not going to lie to you. So you're going to see this music stand a lot this evening. But these are songs that at least the songs that I've chosen are songs that have followed me throughout my life. Sometimes haunted, sometimes blessed. But some of them I sang with my orchestra, some of them I sang with trios, and so they've been around forever in many ways. So this next little number, well, goodness, Alex, I didn't even say, hello, Alex, how are you doing?
You talking
You're
to me?
over there. You are over
He
there.
talking to me?
I forgot to say hello to my friend.
That's all right. You're
What a
forgiven
shame.
someday.
What a shame. He's used to seeing the rear side of me, which is possibly better. I don't know. But anyhow, this number, the comedy tonight was written by me, and that's why it's not very good. This next number is Rodgers and Hart, and it was actually featured on my college undergraduate junior year recital, if I'm not mistaken, when I was majoring in classical music, and they all thought it was very quaint that I put in this American popular ditty. So that's about all I need to say about it. You took advantage of me.
Why?
Rodgers and Hart, I already
Oh,
said
yeah,
it.
you said that.
You weren't, know.
What?
Wake up.
What can you do? All right.
Snap, that's all. What's the use of trying not to fall? I have no will, you've made your kill, 'cause you took advantage of me. I'm just like an apple on a bough, and you're gonna shake me down somehow. So what's the use? You've cooked my goose, 'cause you took advantage of me. I'm so hot and bothered that I don't know my elbow from my ear. I suffer something awful each time you go, but it's much worse when you're near. So here I am, with all my bridges burned, just a babe in arms where you're concerned. So lock the doors and call me yours, 'cause you took advantage of me. In the spring, when the feeling is chronic and your caution was leaving me flat, I should have made use of the tonic before you gave me that. A mental deficient, you'll grade me. I've given you plenty of data. You came, you saw, you slayed me, and then is that I'll play it, Mr. Hassan. Well, you made your kill, 'cause you took advantage of me. Oh, what's the use? You cooked my goose. You took advantage of me. I'm so hot and bothered. I don't know my, I suffer something awful each time you go, but it's much worse when you're near. So here I am, with all my bridges burned, just a babe in arms where you're concerned. So lock the doors and call me yours, 'cause you took advantage of me. You dog. This next number is also Rodgers and Hart, and it's one of the, when you get to my age, you have 7 pairs of glasses. I only brought 2 because I didn't want to confuse you. It's one of the most beautiful, I think, numbers that Rodgers and Hart ever wrote together. It's from the show Jumbo. And what more do you need to say about My Romance, except that it's
A beautiful number like this written for something about an elephant.
I know, right? Well, I think elephants are very lovely. They're nicer than some people I know.
Here we go.
I won't kiss your hand, madame. Crazy for you, though I am. I'll never woo you on bended knee. No, madame, not me. We don't need that flowery fuss. No, sir, madame, not for us. My romance doesn't have to have a moon in the sky. My romance doesn't need a blue lagoon standing by. No month of May, no twinkling stars, no highway, no soft guitars. My romance doesn't need a castle rising in Spain, or a dance to a constantly surprising refrain. Wide awake, I can make my most fantastic dreams come true. My romance doesn't need a thing but you. My romance doesn't need a castle rising in Spain, or a dance to a constantly surprising refrain. Wide awake, I can make my most fantastic dreams come true. My romance doesn't need a thing but you. I don't know if, thank you audience, I don't know if you're hearing this at home, but we're being accompanied, because we're COVID-safe, we are being accompanied by some of the most delightful bird song going on, and it's very emotional, it's lovely. Can you hear the birds, Alex?
Oh, I'm happy to say I cannot hear them.
Really, the birds are, maybe the birds are in my head, it could be, you never know. That's more like it.
Are we having some sort of like a group session here?
I think so. Everybody gather around and hold hands. Let's talk about the hardest moment in each of our lives, right? No. This is fun. This is fun. So we know that Alex has more than 10 fingers, and we know that he is what's known as a novelty pianist. And so Alex has a couple of fabulous pieces to share with you tonight. What's the first one, my friend?
The first one for something so early in our program is called Adieu.
Ah, I'll take the
Not
hint.
good playing on my part.
I'll take the hint.
Yes, this is really one of the most sensationally beautiful numbers. It was published in Europe in the mid-30s and then got a brief publication in this country. And I've made something of a Hassanization of the thing. I've played it for several years already, recorded it on a CD for a company that's run by a friend in Beverly Hills, friend Mike Miller's Operetta Archives CD company. And the whole album of tunes by a fellow named Walter Jormann, along with Bronislaw Kaper, or Copper probably as he was in Germany. And the two of them wrote this number, and wow, it's one of the sort of ultra-romantic, kind of high, far-flung romanticism. So, Adieu by Kaper and Jormann.
your brain rattling around inside your skull.
Rather,
Have I ever asked you this question? Do you remember a specific moment when you fell in love with this kind of music rather than classical music that you were trained in? Or maybe what's the first piece of sheet music out of this 50,000 piece sheet music?
Well, it was probably in the early 1970s when a folio of popular novelty piano pieces by a fellow named Billy Nero got issued in this country. It was originally issued in England, and it turned out that this guy really turned me on to an entire genre of rhythmic music that had the most really wonderful melodies attached to it. This guy was, I'll do an entire Mayo program one of these days, and you got to get involved with it too, because some of these songs just stung around that this fellow wrote, but he also wrote pieces of... Yeah, sorry, Don.
When you play like that, it makes me so intimidated.
Oh, yeah, like the voice like this gets a good
It makes me so intimidated because it's a lot of
I
things.
just hope I can still play this way a few minutes from now.
That's about all right. They're friends. If we sound terrible tonight, you'll love us anyway, won't you? No.
Should we tell them how many rehearsals we have?
Can you tell we've rehearsed hundreds of times for this performance? No, we're among friends, damn it. We haven't rehearsed very much at all. Because it's the middle of COVID.
Because I live in Richmond.
I teach at 2 colleges, and I've got 2 other jobs, and he's in Richmond, and oh, don't you love it when artists make excuses? Yes, I do. Well, I think when I think back to it, there was a moment when, and I probably said this in one of our shows, so I won't go on about it, but it was a strain from Rhapsody in Blue that I heard in my 3rd grade classroom. I heard it playing in my music teacher's room down the hall, and it, I'm singing the melody wrong, but that beautiful blue fall off, and literally something moved inside of me. I think it was my liver, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it was
And it's very best. It's eliciting an emotional reaction.
it's something else. And so here we are, 875 years later, still taking up moments of your life, performing these old, creepy songs covered in dust.
Okay, now we're talking too much. We're trying to get everything.
No. All right, so we're going to perform a couple of songs by a very famous composer, Cole Porter, who you won't want to confuse with his uncle Cole Slaw, who ran several delis in New York. But he got himself into a pickle and had to leave the business. The jokes don't get any better. So this is a number called You've Got That Thing, which I featured in my trio in 1990,000 billion years ago. Cole Porter.
Here he goes.
Remember to bring it in sensitively, Alex. Slow and romantic. Very nice.
Thank you.
I love that. You're so sensitive, really.
You'll never
Since first you blew in like a boisterous breeze, I often have wondered, dear, why gentlemen all seem to fall on their knees the moment that you appear. Your fetching physique is hardly unique. You're mentally not so high. You'll never win laurels because of your morals. But I'll tell you what you've got. You've got that thing. You've got that thing. That thing that makes boys forget to sing. Yeah, you got that thing. That certain thing. Oh, honey, you've got that charm. That subtle charm that makes young farmers desert the farm for you got that thing. That certain thing. You've got what Adam craved when he in love with Eve was tortured. She only had one little apple tree, honey, but you've got the orchard. You've got those ways, those taking ways that make me rush off to Cartier's for a wedding ring. You've got that thing. Let's do another chorus. Oh, yes. Subtle charm that makes young farmers desert the farm. Yes, you've got that thing, that certain thing. Let's get biblical now. You got what Adam craved. We craved it when he was in love with Eve. All over that place. She only had one little apple tree, honey. But you've got a whole, like a business of them. Yes, you've got those ways, those taking ways that make me rush off to Cartier's for a wedding ring. You've got that thing. My goodness, they like that. The good news is these days, if you've got that thing, the doctor can cure it for you. All right. The next number by Cole Porter is from Born to Dance, which I was not. I was born to sing. I occasionally dance. Eleanor Powell. Oh, if my friend Pauline Grossman is on, I don't know if she is, but if she ever watches this, he said Eleanor Powell. She loves Eleanor Powell. Just a moment between me and Pauline. I love you, Pauline. All right, so this is one that you've no doubt heard many singers do. It's a song about infestation. It's called I've Got You Under My Skin.
Never knew that.
Yes. I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart, you're really a part of me. I've got you under my skin. I tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair never can go so well. But tried my heart and myself, I never would know so well. I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of the warning voice that comes in the night and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, fool, you never can win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin. To myself, this affair never can go so well. But why should I try to resist when, darling, I know so well I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of the warning voice that comes in the night and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you never can win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you found his voice. Anybody that can write, I've got you under my skin, and you've got that thing, and that's coming out of the same pen. What a man, what a man. And he also wrote the following number, which I also used to perform with my trio years ago. It's an interesting number. It's about prehistoric man, and I love the marking on this. It's allegretto pittoresque, in parens, all'orientale. And I think you'll figure out what that means in just a moment. Here it is. Find me a primitive man. I want one who's built on a primitive plan. Yes. Someone with vigor and vim. I don't mean the kind that belongs to a club, but the kind that has a club that belongs to him. Yes. I could be the personal slave of someone just out of a cave. Just the thought of it takes me back. I want you to know this, darling. The only man who will ever win me has got to wake up the gypsy in me. Find me a primitive man. Find me a primitive man. Now before this modern idea had burst about the women and children first, the men had much more charm than they have today. Now if only one of that type survived the very moment that he arrived, I know I'd fall in love in a great big way. I can't imagine being bad with any arrow collar ad. I couldn't take the slightest joy in waking up a college boy. I've no desire to be alone with Rudy Valley's megaphone. So when I'm saying my prayers, I say, find me a primitive man built on a primitive plan. Someone with vigor and vim. I don't mean the kind that belongs to a club, but the kind that has a club that belongs to him. I could be the personal slave of someone just out of a cave. The only man who will ever win me has got to wake up the gypsy in me. Find me a primitive man. Find me a primitive
Check your various light fixtures.
Well, I really meant that song. You know, they say a tenor hasn't finished for the evening unless he's sung at least one high B flat. Maybe we'll find a place for a C, but I don't know if you're paying enough, which brings me to let you know, darlings, you can donate. I believe, Mr. Bill, it's on the page that they signed in on, isn't it? At the very top, there's a little box that says donate. Donate. Donate until it hurts. Or don't donate. You don't have to pay to be with us. But, 7 pairs of glasses cost a lot. So there you go. This number is by Mitchell Parrish, who was the lyricist for what very, very famous song?
Darstust.
Darstust, or Stardust, as those of us who aren't Alex will pronounce it. And what about Frank Signorelli, who did the music? Anything else?
Brilliant pianist.
Brilliant pianist.
Brilliant pianist. He made some solo recordings. He wrote a ton of other songs with Matty Malneck. Everybody knows Matty Malneck
It's
now.
a household name.
If Buddy Vince Giordano is watching with Carol tonight, and I
Dear.
suspect that you can name all of the Matty Malneck songs. He was part of the Whiteman Orchestra.
Now, the first time I mentioned this song to you, it's Blues Serenade, and you thought I was talking about Blue Serenade.
Well,
Did you know this song?
No, I knew this.
Of course he did.
I'm
He
good.
wouldn't say he didn't, even if he didn't.
I take it back. I didn't really know the song, but the song was in the sheet music collection.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, which you went climbing through. Well, let's give it a whirl. I found this years ago, and I've been singing it for years. I never stopped singing it. I'm singing it right now.
So we see.
Ah, yes. When you're blue and solitary, love is all that's necessary, then life is complete. Got the time and inclination, all I need is inspiration from somebody sweet. What is there I can do or say so that Mr. Cupid comes my way? If there is a Cinderella looking for a steady fella, listen to my serenade in blue. I toss at night upon my pillow, mournful as a weeping willow, haunted by my serenade in blue. Why must I go on dreaming of an imaginary love? I wish I had someone to sing to, one that I could kiss and cling to. No one hears my serenade blue. Oh my goodness. Yes, Alex. Okay. Show off. So pretty. Why must I go on dreaming of an imaginary love? I wish I had someone to sing to, one that I could kiss and cling to. No one hears my serenade in blue. Why must I go on dreaming of an imaginary love? I wish I had someone to sing to, one that I could kiss and cling to. No one hears my serenade in blue. Thank you. Well, it's time for Alex to strut his stuff again, and I have been requested, I have to wear my 32nd pair of glasses, to be his page turner on this bombastic Russian geniosity.
They don't know what it is yet.
Well, tell
Sacre bleu.
him! Can you hear me?
Господи помилуй, as we say in Russian.
That's what I'm
No, same thing. All right. Okay, a 20-page grand fantasy on themes of one of the really, probably arguably the greatest of the Soviet era songwriters. This fellow was writing for movies, for operettas, just regular sort of independent pop of that era. probably Stalin's favorite songwriter, and wrote some of the very most beautiful melodies of that era in said country. You know, the Composers Union really didn't want you not to write melodies, so the Dostoevsky was really, he was obliging. Isaac Dunayevsky. This is a grand fantasy by the preeminent of the pop jazz pianists of that era in, once again, Soviet Union, USSR, a fellow named Alexander Zwassman. The music was provided me by a young fellow in the musical grapevine, ragtime community, Anthony Sargentson. Thank you so much for sharing this. It's one great piece. I have brought all 8 of my fingers to play it. Let's see what happens.
You say I talk a lot.
No. Okay, last time did I say that you know that you talk? That's the last time I say you talk to me.
I can't wait for this. It's going to be
All right.
perfect.
All right.
No pressure.
Mamma mia. Here we go. Really?
I am not worthy. I am not worthy.
I shouldn't be playing these things at my age.
Well, you're only 36. Remember that. You're never
Up
any
here.
older
Up
than.
here.
Well, mentally, you're 13. We were
That's
saying
right.
at dinner that both of us are. You know, I think the key to life is you can't help growing older, but never grow up. In fact, I was told that by someone once. Alex,
What's this?
good God, man, that was impressive.
Well, it's a showpiece.
I gotta tell you, it makes me nervous to turn pages. I haven't done that in a very long time, and I never saw that music until today. So not to make this about me, but hey, it's me talking.
Bobby, it makes me nervous to play.
I kept thinking if I pull it at the wrong time, the whole thing will come crashing down. It's like a musical game of Jenga. Oh my goodness. You know, did I ever tell you about David Garvey?
You're about to.
Well, I am. David Garvey used to accompany Madam Price, Leontine Price, and when I was a kid, 18, all of 18, I was given the opportunity to turn pages. I think this is why this is coming to mind. And those of you that are non-musicians may get nothing out of the story, so go get something to drink. But I was turning for Mr. Garvey, and he was playing Mozart and Ravel and all these wonderful pieces for Madam Price. And we went back at the half, and I was just bold and rude enough to say to Mr. Garvey, I don't mean to be impudent, but I noticed that you weren't playing all the notes on the page, and it's Mozart. And he turned and smiled and did a little giggle, and he said, you haven't understood yet that music is not what's on that page, which I have taken with me down the road. But yes, that was also a very nervous night.
Yeah.
To have, oh, Christ, oh my goodness. If I never heard another singer before or after, that was all I needed in my lifetime.
And he insisted on never having Doug Bowles as his bass.
No, he was very kind. The great people are usually really cool. It's the jerks on the way up that are nasty, usually. Great talents tend to be fairly down to earth. Maybe not all, but anyway. I wax poetic. Wax off, wax off. Well, we were talking about this gentleman just a few moments ago. Let me put on my 37th pair of glasses. We were talking about Mr. Irving Berlin just a few minutes ago. And here comes a song by him. This is it's just, you know, very often waltzes can be sappy. But I said at the beginning of the evening that I'm a sentimental sap, that's all, so why not? This is one written by Mr. Berlin in 1927, I believe, and the copyright's 1927. Will you correct me if I'm wrong? All right. It's called The Song is Ended, but the melody lingers on. Here we go. And how are we doing this? Oh, we're doing it like that. Okay, and we repeat the last 8 bars of the second chorus. All right. Hit the gas, boy. Here we go.
You want I should play it that fast?
No, not that fast. My thoughts go back to a heavenly dance, a moment of bliss we spent. Our hearts were filled with a song of romance as into the night we went and sang to our hearts' content. The song is ended, but the melody lingers on. You and the song are gone, but the melody lingers on. The night was splendid, and the melody seemed to say, summer will pass away. Take your happiness while you may. Here 'neath the light of the moon, we sang a love song that ended too soon. The moon descended, and I found with the break of dawn, you and the song were gone, but the melody lingers on. you. Thank you. Boy, that Berlin, he knew how to write a melody. And he was a Russian immigrant, so it followed perfectly upon Alex's pianistic offering. So we moved from Berlin, from Cole Porter to Irving Berlin to Harold Arlen, whom I'm sure you will know from Over the Rainbow and all of the other songs he wrote from The Wizard of Oz. But of course, Mr. Arlen wrote many other songs, many other songs. And for me, Mr. Arlen is my desert island composer. So if I were told I could take the music of only one American popular music composer to a desert island for the rest of my days, so long as I could take all of his music, I would take Harold Arlen. It is harmonically rich and melodically perfect. So this is an up-tempo number, but it is harmonically rich and melodically perfect. Let's try it.
Give it a shot.
Try this on your piano or your Victrola. What are we doing with this? I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow, got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. I've got the song that I sing, I can make the rain go anytime I move my finger. Lucky me, can't you see, I'm in love. Life is a beautiful thing, long as I hold the string. I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let go. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow, got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. Merry month of May, sunny skies are blue, clouds have rolled away, and the sun peeps through, May express happiness. Now joy you may define in 1,000 ways, but a case like mine needs a special phrase to reveal how I feel. Let's have some fun. I'm in love. Life is a beautiful thing. Yes, sir, long as I hold the string, I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let go. I got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow, got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life, what a world, what a life, what a world, what a life, I'm in love. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So that was by Harold Arlen and Ted Kohler, and so is this. Tell us about Ted Kohler,
He was
professor.
the most prevalent of the lyricists for Harold Arlen, probably from 1930 or so, throughout the 30s, regularly in the 40s as well. I don't know quite what happened after that. It could be there was no more Kohler. I haven't done my homework.
Maybe he's making faucets now.
Yeah, they did a lot of hobby club stuff together.
Yeah, Arlen was.
And actually, the World on a String is from a Cotton Club production in the early 1930s.
You usually know the year, do you know?
Well, you want us to take the sheet out again to find out? I think
Oh,
it's 30, I'm going to guess 33.
Okay.
All right.
He's gonna gonna guess 33. Da da da.
I'm gonna be
da,
wrong
da,
by.
da.
I'm gonna be wrong by 1 year.
Oh, 32?
Yep.
All right. That was a good year, 32.
For those who know me in the sheet music community, I'll never live this down.
32. What year is your new house built?
1932.
Look at that. I thought I remembered that.
We got a house on a string.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a gorgeous house. This is in Richmond, Virginia. And dear Sarah, his wife, and my dear friend, I said I'd like to see a few pictures, and I saw 37 of them. And I loved every single one of them. This house is absolutely gorgeous. Have you done any history research on the house, like who's owned it before?
Yeah, this was originally built by somebody who had a hardware store in Richmond, and so all of these wonderful ingredients to the house, which is a two-door revival. That means that it's 2 doors.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's got the look that I sort of playfully call it Down South Abbey. So yeah, it's a fun place, gorgeous place, and there's a standing invite for the entire grapevine.
Yes, you're all welcome to come.
Yeah. And we may even tell you where it is if you.
I have a little house from 1926, 27. I call it the Canary Cottage, but I did some historic research on it, and it's in a little town called Kohler, Maryland, and no one's ever heard of it, including people in Maryland. Cole for District of Columbia, and Mar for Maryland, because it's right on the border. And I started doing some historic research on my house, and here I am in the house, a professional singer and teacher of music and band leader and conductor. I started going back to the very beginning of the home, and the very first occupant of the house, Marie Hawkins, was a songwriter and had submitted songs to the Library of Congress. And then the next owner after that, who owned it for 50 years, was a man who he was the first mayor of Colmar Manor, John White, and his wife Mary. John White and Mary White, does it get any more American than that? And anyway, he was known as the singing delegate, and his son, John Sylvester White Jr., played Mr. Woodman on Welcome Back, Kotter. If any of you are old enough to remember Welcome Back, Kotter, he was the diminutive, always very angry assistant principal, Mr. Woodman. And then comes me, so 90-something years of music. I know there's a clock. So, I'm trying to rest my voice by speaking up on my chords. So here we go. Sun, when the sun comes out. When the sun comes out and that rain stops beating on my window pane, when the sun comes out, there'll be bluebirds at my door singing like they did before that old storm broke out, and my man walked off and left me in the rain. Though he's gone, I doubt that he'll stay away for good. I'd stop living if he should. Life is funny. It's not always peaches, cream, and honey. Just when everything looked bright and sunny, suddenly the cyclone came. I'll never be the same till the sun comes out and that rain stops beating on my window pane. If my heart holds out, let it rain and let it pour. It may not be long before there's a knocking at my door, and I'll know the one I love walked in when the sun comes out. honey, just when everything looks bright, and suddenly, yes, suddenly, the cyclone came. I'll never be the same till that sun comes out, and that rain stops beating on my window pane. If my heart holds out, let it rain, let it pour. It may not be long before there's a knock, knock at my door, and you'll know the one I love walked in. When the sun comes out, let it rain and let it pour. It may not be long before there's a knocking at my door, and I know the one I love walked in. When the sun comes out. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So, we've often been asked, do we play anything after 1940? And sometimes we do play things from 1943, but there have been a number of things written since this era that emulate this era, so we thought we'd throw a couple in. The first one is from the musical Victor Victoria by Henry Mancini and Leslie Bricusse. And it was originally purveyed to the world by Miss Julie Andrews and Mr. Robert Preston in the film, and then later in the Broadway show without Mr. Preston. So here we go. It's called You and Me, and we're following that up with a piece by Mark Shaman from the soundtrack of Sleepless in Seattle. I believe I'm correct on that. And it's called A Wink and a Smile.
And there will be a pregnant pause between the
And there will be a pregnant pause because there's something I've been meaning to tell you. This isn't weight I'm putting on, dears. I'm about to give birth to a new career.
I can't play something new. I can't play it. It's too new.
You can't play it. I may not be able to sing it. Let's see what happens. It's an experiment in foolishness. You and me, we're the kind of people other people would like to be. Wandering free, we present the kind of picture people are glad to see. And we don't care that tomorrow comes with no guarantee. Leave each other for company. And come what may, you and me will stay together year after year. Won't we, my dear? We'll always be you and me. Take it away, Alex. I want to hear those fingers dancing. On we'll travel along together now. Come out with me. What a parade we'll make, walking together now. With every step we take, we'll be singing our song together. And you'll see, you'll be glad to be with me and me with you. And we don't care that tomorrow comes with no guarantee. With each other for company. So So come what may, you and me will stay together year after year. Won't we, my dear? We'll always be you and me. We'll always be you and me. Oh yeah. Pregnant pause.
What that? The pregnant was.
As Alex gives birth to an introduction. I remember the days of just keeping time, of hanging around in sleepy towns together. Back roads empty for miles. You know you can't have a dream and cut it to fit. Nah, but when I saw you, I knew we'd go together like a wink and a smile. Come on and leave your old jalopy by the railroad track. We'll have a hip double dip tip-toppy two-seat Pontiac, so you can rev her up. Don't go slow, it's only green lights and alright. We'll go together like a wink and a smile. Let's hear it, sir. Oh yeah. We go together like a wink and a smile. Oh dear. Oh, back to the rocking floor, yeah. We go together just like a wink and a smile. Now my heart hears music, such a simple song. Sing it again, these notes never end. This is where I belong. Just the sound of your voice, the light in your eyes. We're so far away from yesterday together. Give me a wink and a smile. Oh, we go together like a wink and a smile. Thank you. Hey, Alex, not too bad. Not too bad. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget, that was our sort of last number for the night. Don't forget you can donate, or you can not donate. We'll love you either way. But we also have CDs. And we recorded one in this very room with Karen Paladin and myself and Mr. Hassan called we were three for a song at the time, the greatest songs you've never heard. And Alex and I did the New Deal Rhythm, which is a collection of really fun, upbeat, silly comedy and some heart-rendering and soul-stirring numbers from the Great Depression, which was really great. And those are available. You can contact me at doug@dougbowles.com. And I will try to get those to you. We'll work out a fair price. It's only just $10 a piece. We are so glad that you were able to join us tonight, and it's always a pleasure to spend time with you. And we always want to say thank you to Emerson Avenue Salons, Bill Ewing and Jacqueline Anderson, who not only are incredible hosts of a very important salon, which has kept a lot of musicians working during COVID. They're very generous people as humans and also as producers. So we really, really appreciate you guys, and we love you as friends. They even fed us dinner tonight, which is lovely. We've all been jabbed, so fear not. So thank you so much for being with us and for spending this evening together. And we have one more number.
You thought that the Zoom was coming, did you?
We have one more number that we're going to give you that we love, and we'll share it with you because we love you and we dedicate it to you, darlings. We love each one of you in special and different ways. Have a baby. Play the piano. This is our last dance together. Tonight soon will be long ago. And in this moment of parting, this is all I want you to know. There will be many other nights like this, and I'll be standing here with someone new. There will be other songs to sing, another fall, another spring, but there will never be another you. There will be other lips that I may kiss, but they won't thrill me like yours used to do. Though I may dream a million dreams, how can they come true when there will never ever be another you? There will be other lips that I may kiss, but they won't thrill me like yours used to do. Yes, I may dream a million